the relationship between estrogen and cortisol. And there's kind of this negative feedback that sort of happens. So with the estrogen and the hormonal chaos that's occurring during perimenopause and the fall off and drop off of estrogen, it really throws off and can amplify cortisol, which is our stress hormone. And that can trigger the liver to release more glucose. And then if we aren't utilizing that glucose because we aren't moving our bodies to, sort of reach this stable point, then that can lead to the insulin resistance, that can lead to fat storage. And then the other thing too is like we normally have fat storage, but for women we typically have that in our hips and our thighs. But when perimenopause happens, that there's a shift that can occur, and then you can have that presentation of the menobelly is what it's commonly called. And then that leads to further things. It's called visceral fat, and that fat is the fat that's around the organs in our abdomen, and that's super inflammatory, which can then increase further cortisol. And high cortisol can lead to poor sleep, and then poor sleep increases your ghrelin hormone and decreases your leptin hormone, and then you just sort of have this really vicious cycle where you're not motivated anymore because these are people that are working out. We're talking about people that have a very regimen schedule where they work out and they eat healthy, but they're having these big significant changes and they're getting super frustrated. And when you don't have that sort of same response that you had when you're in your 20s and your 30s, and all of a sudden you're waking up and you're like, what the heck is going on? I'm putting on weight and I'm doing the same exact things. That creates also some mood, emotional feelings too. And that can all contribute to sort of this downward spiral.